What's up, guys? It has been raining for the past 2 or 3 days, like non-stop. It's intense. So I haven't been outside. I figured today would be as good a day as any to finally process these frozen tomatoes. All of these tomatoes are tomatoes that I was harvesting from this past year's summer garden, and I didn't have a chance to do anything with them, so I just kept sticking them inside Ziploc bags and putting them in my freezer. Now that it is winter time and everything has kind of slowed down, I want to get these processed. I did this last year. I had way more tomatoes than this, but this is still just as good as any, and I have to use it. Last year I made kind of like a vegetable melody, which I followed kind of like that 1870s Homestead, where she made a vegetable melody tomato sauce, and I'm gonna be doing that again. I have some frozen green beans from the garden. I have some frozen onions from the garden. I also have some rice cauliflower that's not from the garden, but I'm gonna go ahead and add that in there as well. And just whatever I have that is in the freezer right now, I'm just gonna be throwing it all into this pot, and we're gonna make some more sauce. I have 9 more jars of tomato sauce, pasta sauce.
Mine is that.
So this is the tomato sauce, the pasta sauce that I made last year, and I've been using it. It's really good. I have 9 more jars of these, and then I still also have 3 jars of tomato pasta sauce that I just got from the store, from Azure actually. So that's 12 cans, and we usually have spaghetti about once every week or once every 2 weeks. Definitely like 3 to 4 times a month. So I don't have enough tomato sauce to probably last me until we start producing tomatoes again, but I'm just going to go ahead. One thing I could do instead of using those 32-ounce jars is this time put them in 16-ounce jars, and when I'm making pasta sauce, only use 16-ounce jars, and then kind of like water it down that way, because it's really potent as far as flavor. You can see this was probably a purple or a black tomato here. This was seems like the biggest red tomato I got versus the biggest yellow tomato I got. Lots of cherry tomatoes.
Those like cherry tomatoes?
Yes. And it looks like I did core that one and that one before I stuck it into.
Mine just looks like a...
I've explained in detail about how my kids feel about cauliflower ever since us going grain free when they were little, and they got so burnt out of cauliflower rice. So we had a friend, let me get the scissors, or we had a friend that moved away, and she didn't want to bring her frozen products, and so she gave us just frozen things she had inside her freezer, which was this bag of cauliflower. She gave us this half bag of peas, this bag of chopped bell peppers, and I'm going to also be adding in all of these green beans. I have a 1.5 gallons of green beans. This is from the garden, and I did this last year, and the tomato sauce turned out so good. There are some purple ones and there are green ones. We rarely have green beans frozen green beans as a side, but inside of the tomato sauce, they were so good.
I know.
I just realized I have some that still have the this attached to it from the plant. When I was harvesting them, I did try and make sure that we went ahead and pulled off all of the stem attachments, but it looks like this bag I didn't, because there's multiple in here. Whew.
And there's an ice cube.
Yeah, but this will all be fine. I'm excited to see how much this breaks down right now. It's completely filled to the top. I'm gonna let it defrost and we'll come back and check on it periodically. I actually almost completely forgot about the onions. This is about half a gallon size Ziploc bag of onions that we froze. And I'm just gonna break some off and add this as well. Probably 1/4 of the bag.
There's a big blob.
This is the end of night 1. It is 9 o'clock. You can see right here, this has shrunk by probably half, I want to say, because it was kind of overfilled. And I've been coming by every so often and smashing the tomatoes in here to make sure that they all pop. Everything is nice and soft in here. Last year when I made this recipe, I had some big jars of canned just tomato sauce. This year I have about 8 of these V8 original tomato juice cans that I'm going to be adding into this pot. This is going to give it more of that red coloring that I'm looking for, because not all of my tomatoes was red, and it's going to give it more of that tomato flavor, because I did end up adding quite a few of, you know, green beans and onions and carrots and the cauliflower. And probably by the time I finish adding all of this in here, it's going to significantly raise it back up. And I'm going to turn this on, probably keep warm overnight, since it is 9 o'clock, and I'm not going to probably get to this before 9 or 10 o'clock tomorrow. And in the morning we'll blend it all together and strain it and all that stuff to get out all the pulp and seeds and stuff like that. Good morning, guys. It is day 2. It is, what time is it? 9:39 now. I have a bunch, let me bring you down. I have a bunch of ingredients right here that I'm going to start adding into this pot. I'll take this off and show you what it looks like. I was scrummaging through my refrigerator and my pantry to see if there was anything else I wanted to add into here. Going through my fridge and my pantry to see if there's anything that I wanted to use up in this recipe while I have it out. And I saw that we had this open jar of salsa, which I'm going to go ahead and add inside up here. I'm also going to add in my seasoning at this time. I was just on my phone watching Rachel from that 1870s Homestead, which is where she got this recipe, or where I watched this recipe from, and she said she got it from Gary over at the Rested Gardener, but I didn't see his recipe. I saw hers, and I'm just following her recipe, and I did the same thing last year. I had different ingredients last year, so it's gonna taste different, but I will continue to use this recipe because it's just a great way to use up garden produce. Like this is peppers. So this is sweet peppers and spicy peppers that I dehydrated and then blended up. And I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of that. I'm not going to use the whole thing because that salsa was medium and these have spicy peppers in it and I don't want it to be too spicy. I also found 3 of these tomato pastes that I'm going to put in there to make it thicker. I'm going to use garlic. Instead of sugar, I'm going to use date syrup. In Rachel's recipe, she used brown sugar. She also used kind of like a soy sauce. It was liquid aminos. And I don't have liquid aminos or soy sauce. So I'm just going to use Worcestershire, which will be 1/4 cup. And then the last thing besides salt is this tomato powder. This is, I freeze dried all of the tomato pulp, I think when I did this last year, and it said that you could use it to thicken tomato sauces. So I'm gonna see if that works by adding in we'll start with 1/3 cup and we'll see how much of that I need to add into it to make it thicker. And once I add these tomato pastes in there, ooh, I need something to cut this. Oh, wow. I just squirted tomato paste all over. So once I add this tomato paste in here, I am going to either use an immersion blender to blend this all up, or my Vitamix and just scoop some out. So you can see I've thoroughly made a mess here, but I do believe, nope, I just found the little pea. I was about to say, I do believe I have everything pretty liquefied. Nope, I just felt something. Of course, as soon as I turn on the camera, I feel a bunch more carrots and green beans in here. But I don't think I'm going to need to add any more of this paste here or this powder. So I'm going to go ahead and put that away. I think that did a really good job at thickening the sauce. The sauce is really thick, so I'm gonna put this back after I wipe it down. It has splattered tomato. I don't remember last year if I put this tomato sauce through like a strainer to get out any of the pulp, but this year, and like if there's any stringy pieces, this year I am not. One, because obviously you see that I have that big half-gallon of freeze-dried tomato skins. And two, I think the sauce will be fine. We use this as spaghetti sauce, and this is about the consistency as my other jars. I already have the water bath canner on the stove. I am going to water bath this, and I am going to add in lemon juice because I used a lot of different vegetables. It's not just a tomato sauce, so it won't have enough acidity. So I am going to use some lemon juice and can this. And I think with this, which I didn't expect it to make this much sauce, but I guess when you add in all the other bulk ingredients, I think I will have enough sauce. Definitely not till next winter until I do this again, but at least until we start producing tomatoes again. Let me see. I think that needs more salt, and I think I'm gonna add some more sweetener in it. It still has a powerful, I can still taste like the acidity of tomatoes. I can taste the garlic, that tastes good. I can taste the oregano. I think I just want it to be sweeter. So I'm gonna try that after I get the rest of this blended up. And I will show you how many jars we get. I hope, if anything, that you just use this for your inspiration to see how easy it was to just pull out a bunch of ingredients. I only had, you know, those 2 gallon size, probably those 2 gallon size, and then 3-quart bags I think I had. So definitely not a lot of tomatoes to begin with. They're all different colors, all different sizes, and I made a beautiful pasta sauce. It's actually day 3. Yesterday I finished processing all of the tomato sauce, but I was leaving them to cool to show you the total amount today. We ended up getting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of these 4-cup jars. I always forget if they're quarts. Yeah, quarts. 10 of these quart jars, and then I did do 18 of the 2-cup or the pint jars. So that way, since the sauce is really thick, which is what I noticed with my other sauce as well, canned tomato sauce or canned pasta sauce actually doesn't come in a 32-ounce jar. Let me show you. So I have about 3 of these jars of pasta sauce that I got from Azure Standard a while ago, and they're only 24 ounces, which is a cup less than these 4-cup jars. And so I decided to can some 16-ounce jars as well, because the sauce is like way thicker than this sauce, and I could like water it down if I needed to with like some chicken broth or anything like that. So I did start some chicken broth to can that up as well, because I have no more chicken broth. And then I kept these bigger jars because when I made lasagna, using these bigger jars was really, really helpful. And with it being thicker, I was able to use it all. 2 of my cans did not seal. 2 of my cans did not seal. and I noticed that last night, and so I'm going to reprocess them and see if I can get them sealed. But the rest of them have all sealed, and I'm going to get them on my shelves. When I first started this project, I definitely thought I wasn't going to get enough for the year, but now that I have them all done and seeing how much this made, it's definitely going to probably last me until next January or December, until I make this amount of sauce again, so that I can, like, in the summertime, just start throwing them all in the freezer if I have space this year, and throwing them all in the freezer and then processing them during the cold winter months again. Because I have 9 of the jars that I did from last year, and then I have 3 more of these jars, and we eat pasta or spaghetti probably 3 to 4 times a month, sometimes 3. We try to do it once a week, but some weeks we miss. And so definitely with this 18 of the 2 cups and 12 of these, and then I also have one in the refrigerator that didn't fill up all the way. It was about this much, but I figured that today we could use it and make spaghetti, and so that's what we're going to use it for. I'm not even going to can that one. But thank you guys for hanging out with me while we got this for over the 3 days while we got this done. I hope this gave you some inspiration to see how you could use your summer produce even if you don't have a lot of tomatoes. Last year I added in a lot of shredded zucchini. This year I didn't have shredded zucchini. I do have some shredded couscous that I've been using in muffins, and so I didn't want to use that inside the sauce because my kids have been really loving those muffins. But I hope this just showed you how, you know, you can take a little bit of tomatoes and make a hearty vegetable pasta sauce. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.